You're about to see a clip from a documentary that was made before my time. I'm David Hoffman, filmmaker, and I collect these because, well, they mean something to me. The people who made this film were some of the best at their time. Per Lorenz, Aaron Copland did the music, Willard Van Dyke. These were great documentary filmmakers. The film has a purpose. It's trying to show you what life was like before modern cities. They're trying to convince you that this community that existed could exist in the city if we chose to do it that way. See what you think.
A century or two ago, we built our church and marked the common out. We raised the town hall next, so we could have our say about the taxes, or whether we need another teacher for the school. When town meeting comes around, we know our rights and duties, and no harm if we disagree. In all that matters, we neighbors hold together. We work from sun to dark, if you can call just work a job that helps make a body feel at peace while doing it, or hum a bit with pleasure when it's done. Art isn't something foreign we look at in a showcase. It's in the blankets that we've spun and woven right at home. It's in the patchwork quilts sewn by our daughters at a quilting bee for someone's bridal chest. It's in the locks and hinges that the blacksmith shapes. It's in the baskets that are woven in the neighborhood to fit our household needs, from marketing to mending. When water wheels are better fitted to do the work than human hands, we rig up the machines to saw the wood or grind the corn for hominy grits and johnny cake. A while ago, that corn was on the stalk, above the pumpkins, ripe and yellow. One night, the neighbors met to shell the ears together. They did the job in no time, so they could clear the old barn floor and choose their favorite partners for the dances. There was lasting harmony between the soil and what we built or planted there. We used our hands and mastered what we laid our hands on. Working and living, we found a balance. The town was us, and we were part of it. We never let our cities grow too big for us to manage. We never pushed the open land too far away. We youngsters took it in. The haying field, the mill, the daily chores were teachers. We old ones had good years of family life, our own, our children's. Mellow years before the ripe fruit fell, as fruit will drop on windless autumn days. And that was peace. The seed was ready for the earth again, ready to die, ready once more to grow.
Americans realize that slums like these can no longer exist, where 10 million of our people still live in squalor and darkness, where future citizens grow up without sunlight and fresh air and space to play. 40% of American homes are still without modern plumbing. 20% are without gas or electricity. 1/3 of the citizens of the richest nation in the world is ill-housed. But already slums in some metropolitan centers are coming down, condemned by forward-looking civic governments. Down they're coming, the cold water, no light tenements. Down are coming the bad living conditions that produce bad citizens. The underprivileged families from the dark areas of our cities are being moved into the sunlit, tree-surrounded, clean apartments of gigantic housing projects, produced by city planners as investments in democracy. Cities within cities, scientifically planned and built, where a man and his family with a small income can live with comfort and dignity, where there are playgrounds and space for the kids to stretch their growing limbs right outside the front door, where shops and stores are a planned part of the city within the city. Everything from the corner drugstore to the local movie theater. Even an automatic laundry, where Junior waits outside while Mom finds the family wash can be done in 5 minutes for a quarter. Such a housing project as this is the result of planning. Planning so that any 5-year-old can scamper to his heart's content without fear of city traffic. Planning so that the rate of disease goes down and the rate of happiness and health goes up. Houses such as these were assembly line made, proving the theory of many a planner that the assembly line principle, which results in low cost and great quantity in everything from toothbrushes to Liberty ships, can be applied to the building trades as well as other industries. The difference in cost between such a prefabricated house as you see here and a custom-built house is the same as the difference between an assembly line built car and one built to an individual's specifications. Prefabricated houses are one way to low-cost living on a high standard level. Mass-produced houses, built and bought as you would buy a car, fit for either city or country way of life.
So what happened? Tens of millions of people moved to the suburbs. I lived in one, Levittown, Long Island. If you were a GI, no money down and you could buy a home for $33 a month. If you were not a GI, I think it was $6,000 down. Refrigerator, beautiful bedroom, a driveway, a carport, trees, a little bit of land, so much more. The suburbs were amazing. And this film gives a little bit of sense of how so many people desired to move to them. My parents spent 3 days on a line camping out in order to buy a Levitt house. And that's where I grew up. I can remember somebody coming up the street, a truck coming up the street and kicking off refrigerators, dropping them one into another. I can remember a giant machine drilling holes in the ground and another truck coming along and plopping trees in. We grew up with mud everywhere. These had been potato fields, and all of a sudden there were tens of thousands of homes on curved streets. Ooh, streets used to be straight, right? Well, this was a curved street. That's kind of classy in a way. You went around a corner. Baseball fields for the kids to play, shopping center nearby, a pool. In Levittown, there was a pool for every group. There were some disadvantages, which is us kids were rebellious. So many of us were rebellious. Elvis Presley was coming up at the same time and so much more. If you've watched my clips, you know I'm presenting different experiences that people had at that time. White people, black people, middle class, rural, urban. I'm going to talk more about that and the different reactions I'm getting from you, my viewers, to these old statements and these old clips in future movies that I make. Thank you for watching.